The honourable member for New Westminster Burnaby.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I appreciate working with the member on Health Committee. And this motion is something that the NDP is supporting. We believe in getting to the bottom of the SDTC spending scandal. It's important to have that transparency. It's important to know how taxpayers' money was spent. And I wanted to flag, and the member has as well, the important work of the Auditor General and the Parliamentary Budgetary Officer, independent officers of Parliament. They get the straight goods to Canadians. This is vitally important. And we can never forget this, Madam Speaker, but it was forgotten during almost a dismal decade during the Harper regime, where the Harper Conservatives basically slashed funding to the Auditor General, slashed funding to the PBO, slashed funding to independent officers of Parliament. And we know why, Madam Speaker. It's because the Harper Conservatives didn't want us, unlike now where we're getting to the bottom of things, didn't want the Canadian public to actually know about their spending scandal. My colleague talked about the money involved here with the SDTC being a lot of money, but it pales in comparison to what the Harper regime misspent. Just to flag a certain number of figures, Madam Speaker, the anti-terrorism funding, no paper trail, $3.1 billion, Phoenix Pay System, $2.2 billion, the F-35 procurement scandal, billions, the G8 misspending, $1 billion, the ETS scandal, $400 million, and I could go on, Madam Speaker. My simple question is, why do Conservatives say, do as we say, not as we do?
Honourable member for Cumberland Colchester.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And as the member said, we do have the opportunity to serve on Health Committee together, and often we, I would say probably more often than not, we disagree, and that often creates interesting times at the Health Committee. That being said, though, Speaker, we are all here today to talk about SDTC. That does not in any way limit the great work of the Auditor General, which, of course, came forward, and the Auditor General said that this SDTC gave $58 million to 10 ineligible projects that on occasions couldn't demonstrate an environmental benefit or the development of green technology. They also gave $334 million in over 186 cases to projects in which board members held a conflict of interest. And they gave $58 million to projects without ensuring contribution agreement terms were met. So as we begin to look at the size of the scandal that exists here, you know, as I said, Speaker, I've only been here 3 years. My friend from Barrie, Innisfil, warned us against taking the DeLorean back in time, of trying to litigate the terrible ghost of Mr. Harper that seems to plague my friends on the Liberal side, that he's the bogeyman under their bed all the time. And when we know clearly that the scandals that this government has been involved in, we know that it starts at the top with the Liberal Prime Minister, who has been convicted twice of ethics violations. And again, much in the case of SDTC, when you have a chair that creates an environment, a culture of breaking the rules, then that filters down to everybody who's involved in those decision-making efforts. And that's what we want to shine a light on here, Speaker, is to say, bring forward those documents and let's make the right decisions for the Canadians so they know where their taxpayer dollars went.